Welcome to another episode of the Mountain Blog, and today we're gonna make something very simple. It's quick and easy. It's actually pork chops. First things first, we're gonna make sure that the pork chops are tenderized so that they're very soft. So all you need basically is a plastic bag. Some people use saran wrap. I like to reuse the bags that we used to buy vegetables. And then all you need is a mallet or a heavy pot, and then just whack away at the pork chops. Switch. Now I used to think that we should skip this step because I was so lazy, but it does actually make a difference. So make sure you remember, when you deep fry pork chops, you gotta pound your meat. So we're gonna need 3 different pans for this. Remember, you need flour, egg wash, and then flour. So I have 3 eggs, 1 egg basically for each pork chop. Let's crack these open. We have a trash bowl. For the first pan, we're actually going to use cornstarch. So I've learned that using cornstarch instead of flour for your first batch actually gives it a crispier texture than just using flour. So we used cornstarch instead. And then you have your egg wash, and then the next one is going to be the flour. Now that we have our basics, which is the cornstarch, the egg wash, and then the flour, this is the part where you have liberty on how you want to season your pork chops. So you need at least your basic ingredients, your salt and your pepper. And you liberally season your meat. Salt, pepper. In my pantry, I actually have garlic powder. And again, don't be shy with the seasoning because it's gonna get breaded in the cornstarch and flour. So you want to make sure that your meat actually tastes good. I have some cracked pepper and lemon. Rub that in. Do the other side. More garlic powder. Now the thing that I like about this recipe is that it's basically just the pork chops and the egg that you need. And I remember being in college that this was simple enough to make and it was cheap enough to buy, and it was still hearty that it was filling. I also put cayenne pepper. Now that the pork chops are seasoned, it's time to season our cornstarch and our flour. So add a little bit of salt, because not too much, because remember we already seasoned our protein. We're gonna start breading our pork chops, and one thing to remember is that you're gonna keep 1 hand for dry and 1 hand for wet. Put the pork chop on the cornstarch. Make sure that it gets on everything. Then it goes to the egg wash, which I'm now using my right hand for. And then onto the flour, back with my left hand, with the flour. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on the other 2. that we're done breading all 3 of our pork chops, it's time to put them in the oil. We have our pan with vegetable oil in it on medium-high heat. The best way to find out if the oil is hot enough is to put in chopsticks. Or in my case, I have a barbecue skewer. If you see bubbles rapidly rising to the top, it means that the oil is hot enough. So you have to remember that the oil needs to be hot enough before you put in your breaded pork chop, or else they're gonna turn out soggy. Let's go ahead and put this one, that. And what I did was that I put it back into the cornstarch again, because what happens is that when they've been sitting on the counter, they start getting moist, and you don't want that. So you cover it again with cornstarch to take off the extra moisture before you drop that. Okay, so about 7 minutes has passed. And as you can see, even the top part is starting to get crunched. So it's time to turn it around. Then at this point, you lower your heat to just slightly above medium. So between medium and medium-high is where you lower it. The reason why is that you don't want your breading to burn, but it's still raw on the inside. 7 minutes on the first side, and then after we flip it, 5 minutes on the second side. And they are looking very golden brown. What we're gonna do now is that we're actually gonna throw them in the oven at 375 degrees for about another 7 minutes, just to be sure that they're cooked inside. This is it. It's been in the oven about 7 minutes. So we're gonna go take out the pork chops because I'm hungry. I don't know if you can see this, but they're crispy, crunchy pork chops. Okay, time to dig in, guys. So excited. From what I can tell you guys, it's very soft. It's very tender. Ew. Okay, hold on. So you gotta get this. I don't know if you can get this. Oh, look at that. It's smoking hot. Mmm. 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 Come and check this out. Damn. So we have here our breaded pork chop. Ooh, don't fall. Breaded pork chop with some quick pan fried asparagus with lemon pepper, and of course white rice, because it's not a meal without rice. That's how I like my carbs. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what else I should cook next time. But definitely pork chops, cheap, very easy.